morning and welcome. Patriot Radio News Hour. Joe and Jason. Well, it'll just be me today. Jason's got a meeting that he just couldn't get out of. So I'll be flying solo for most of the show, if not all of the show. We'll see how it goes. But I hope you had a fun weekend. As well, let's face it, the dog days of summer are almost here, right? The kiddies getting out of school, people getting ready to plan the summer vacation. Maybe, then again, maybe not. My wife and I, we took off a little early on Friday. Her cousin's birthday, we went to Laughlin, and I will admit I was not very excited about it. I haven't been to Laughlin in, I don't know, maybe 20 years. And it's fine. I will say this, I had low expectations, and it ended up being better than my low expectations. So I'll just leave it at that. The hotel we were at, like most of the hotels in Laughlin, they're not the greatest. But we had a lot of fun. There was a adults only pool, which we appreciated. I was surprised how many families, a lot of Californians, and a lot of kids, lots of kids, and which I get it, right? I mean, Vegas kind of, they tried to do the kid thing and said, yeah, okay, never mind. But the hotel we were at, they had a little beachhead right on the Colorado River, and that was nice. We had a good time. You know what? It's always good. We didn't win any money. We're not big gamblers, but we do like throwing the craps, if you for lack of a better term. And we did okay. We came home with the same amount of money that we left with. So that's like winning. That's like winning. And will I go to Laughlin again? Yeah, I think I would in another 20 years, right? So there you go. So if you're planning on something, it was cheaper than Las Vegas. So that part is good. I guess the hotels were cheaper, the food was cheaper, the gaming was cheaper. So if you don't mind not maybe having the nicest place, there's 4 or 5 hotels. I was only in the one that we were told was the least crappy of them, and we were happy with it. So there you go. There's my maybe a little vacation advice. Our toll free number 800-951-0592. The website at allamericangold.com. And we've got a lot of things happening again like we did. It just seems like this is the case, right? Got the riots. Is it a riot? Is it not a riot? Is it a peaceful protest? Is it not a peaceful protest? Do we bring in the National Guard? I would probably say no. Yeah, okay. They burned some cars. They burned some Waymos. But I get it, right? It's like half of the country is sick of it. The other half apparently is not. And, of course, this is all about ICE raiding the illegals in Los Angeles. I guess I'll call it around. I don't know what else to call it. I think there was 40 or 50 of them got arrested. And people flipped out. And I guess you could say, I think half the country is they're tired of the illegal immigration, and they're tired of people assaulting law enforcement and the destruction of property, right? We're tired of it. But at the same time, we got to be careful about the reaction from the federal government. I'll just say that, as far as that goes, you don't want the federal government involved in these things. This is something for Los Angeles to deal with, the state of California to deal with, and there's a lot of reasons why I say that. Now, if it escalates to, I don't know, what we saw in Portland, right, is maybe something similar to Minnesota, Minneapolis. Okay, then maybe, I don't know that this weekend got there, right? Burning up a few Waymos. I shouldn't say that, you know what, we have Waymo here, like, it's going out of style. Like, this is like and I think because the city streets here are very simple. You know, I grew up in New York, and it was amazing. You can be on the same street in a 5-mile period, gone east, west, north, south, stops, picks up again, stops, picks up again. I mean, it made no sense. We've got the very grid-like pattern here in Arizona, right? If you're in the streets, right, that's kind of the east side, right? If you're in the avenues, that's the west side. You know, they tend to go in straight lines. You know, I don't know. But I get it. I'm not sure about the Waymos either. We'll be back after the break. 800-951-0592. Listen, Greta Thunberg. Remember her? She's back. Apparently she's been kidnapped. I'm not kidding. She was trying to take a sailboat, I guess, with food into Gaza. I don't know. The Israelis should have let her. She probably wouldn't be here anymore if they did, right? They probably saved that girl's life. I don't know if she's been paying attention what happens when you bring food into Gaza. But in any event, she's been kidnapped, so I thought you guys would like to know that. We got a lot of stuff. We got CPI this week. Let's not forget the U.S. and China are having talks in London today. Yeah, we got to bring that up. Kind of funny. Not as happy as I thought they'd be. So we'll see. We'll see what comes out of it. The biggest thing, though, is going to be the auctions this week. They're not only auctions here. The UK's got some big auctions coming up. The Eurozone's got auctions. Everyone's got auctions, as we know. But what is it going to look like as far as, are we going to have any more landmines this week in the auctions? I think a lot of it would depend on that CPI data, right? Are we going to see a pickup in inflation or not? That is going to be probably the biggest factor. The Dow is down 107. The S&P's up 5. The Nasdaq's up 60. The 10-year note right around 4.9 and change. And again, a lot of auctions that are going to be weighing on the markets this week. So we'll wait and see what happens. Gold is higher today right now, up about $14, $33.25. Remember, we got to that, right to that 3,400 level, kind of pulled back from that. We'll see what gold does this week, right? 3,400. Pretty much, when we get through 3,400, we're going to start talking 4,000 very quickly. Speaking of quickly, we knew it was we didn't know when. We knew it was going to happen, and it looks like it is here. The silver breakout continues up 65 more cents, 36.55. I think they really, are we going to see $40 silver this week? It is very possible. The question for me isn't, whether it's this week, next. I don't care when. It's coming. The only question really for silver is, okay, when it gets to 40, does it go right to 50? I think that's going to be interesting to watch. Platinum going with it. So we have a breakout in silver and platinum. Platinum up another $43, $1,212 on platinum today. And again, both of those metals are long in the decade plus type breakouts on the platinum and silver markets. I look for a lot of legs in both platinum and silver. I will not be shocked to see $2,000 platinum. You cannot rule out $50+ silver. You can't. We'll see 40. 40 is going to tell us a lot. Then this morning, kind of interesting, we had another container ship. I don't know if explosion is what they're saying. Was there a fire, or was this thing hit by some type of a mine or something else? It was off the coast of India. Then this is kind of what's got people a little on edge. We had that. Remember we did. I don't know if we even talked about it. Over off the coast of Alaska, we had a ship catch on fire that had electric cars, and they couldn't put it out. Got to let the whole thing burn. I don't know exactly what is on this particular ship, but you could. The images. There are a big swath of the containers on the boat are on fire right now, so we're going to have to watch. Apparently, shipping stuff is becoming a problem, right? We got it's bad enough about the trade wars, but now, right, we know about, right, okay, the Houthis, right, they were blowing stuff up and whatnot. This thing seems to, I don't know, that one ship, remember, ran into the bridge, the Baltimore, the Key Bridge in Baltimore. We had a Mexican sailboat. They called it the Navy. It's a sailboat. It smashed into a bridge in New York, and now seemingly, I don't know, kind of like, is this like a weekly thing now? Maybe this was always happening and nobody told us. But it sure seems like we're getting a lot more of these cargo ships catching on fire, and we're never given a lot of details. On top of that, like we said, there is some meetings ongoing right now in London between the Chinese and American delegations. People are worried now, so I wonder how the talks really went. Remember, Xi Jinping and Trump had a phone conversation. China did allow for the big three automakers to buy some more rare earths. This was, I guess, the automakers were like, hey, we applied for these permits that China said we had to do, and they haven't approved them, and we're running out. The Trump administration got involved. They did allow the big three to purchase a certain amount of rare earths, apparently not the amount that the Americans were hoping for as these talks start in London. And now, I don't know if it's a rumor, I don't know what to call it, but all of a sudden, the people that are looking at this seem to think that maybe China is going to play a lot harder than they thought. And now the talk again about will China de-dollarize. Listen, they're already de-dollarizing. I don't think that they'll go faster. Now, I could be wrong. Maybe, you know what? Maybe they are. Now, one of the things that was noted is that Beijing is starting to purchase large quantities of oils in yuan or renminbi and not dollars. Now, obviously, they're buying it from Russia that way. I haven't seen it yet. Is China buying oil from Saudi Arabia, UAE, Qatar, whoever it may be in the Middle East outside of Iran using renminbi? I haven't seen that. They can. But it looks like the feeling is that this may have started very quietly. We'll see. The only thing that we're being told is large contracts for oil being done in the Chinese renminbi. And again, I need to know who it's from. Right now, Iran technically is not supposed to sell any oil to anybody. So it can't be that. Is it Russia? Then I'm not as worried, but my guess is it's not, because wouldn't they be doing that? They're already doing that. So we're going to have to see what comes up from it. Then there was worries about treasuries. What are they going to do with U.S. treasuries? And I've said this from the beginning. China's already selling. They have a pace. I think they stay on that pace. Why do I say that? Why do I say they probably won't go faster? Well, it just doesn't. There's no reason for them to. Right? And what I mean by that, if they go faster, they're going to have bigger losses. So why not just keep the pace they're going? Obviously, it looks like Japan is taking care of that problem for them. But again, I think this is something that has the market a little on edge today. When we're talking about, wow, there's, a continuation of talks with China, you would think the market would be rallying today, that it would be considered good news. Not nearly like it was last week. And like I said, I think someone's trying to say that Saudi Arabia is now taking renminbis for oil. I don't know it. It's just interesting that a lot of people are talking about it. Remember, was it October of last year? Saudi Arabia been invited to BRICS. It's been they have a very close relationship with BRICS. Some people are saying, well, they're a full member. Others are saying, well, maybe they are, maybe they aren't. I don't know. Saudi Arabia just doesn't like to say. Then news broke, 3 months ago, 4 months ago, that Saudi Arabia had doubled their gold holdings, but didn't tell anybody, which is allowed, as we know, right? The central bank purchases that the World Gold Council talks about, right? Those are the only ones that they actually admit to. But everybody says, hey, there's a lot more going on. And obviously tracking flows. And then, of course, Saudi Arabia kind of begrudgingly said, okay, you caught us. Yep, we did. So it kind of makes sense to me that at some point this is going to happen. And that's a concern. If it is happening, that will be another significant blow to the U.S. debt markets. And I know people are like, well, why is that so important? And oil dominates. And what I mean by that is the amount of crude oil purchased globally. It's insane. It's insane. And when you use dollars, right, it's a huge amount. How do these countries pay for it? Simple. They buy treasuries. And then they know, hey, I bought a 2-year notes in 2023 that I knew when they matured in 2025, I was going to use that to buy a cargo ship of oil from the Saudis. Well, if they don't need to use it to buy from the Saudis, they don't need them at all. 800-951-0592, Patriot Radio News Hour on this Monday. Gold's up 20 now, 33.30. Silver up 70, 36.60. Platinum up 41 at $1,210. $20 liberties. And, man, think about where we were last Monday. We've had an attempt at 3,400 that failed. Now it looks like gold's getting ready to go again here. I've got 50-20s at 34.25. That is, wait, no, I'm sorry, that's not right. 35.25. I'm like, I can't do that. 35.25 as gold is 33.30 right now. So about $195 over spot. That's just, I mean, that'd be a great price. I mean, great price at $1,000 gold. That'd be great. It's $3,300 gold. 800-951-0592. And again, we're waiting on CPI this week. Worries in the bond market after a report over the weekend that the Chinese, well, agreeing to sell some rare earths to the auto industry, which people were talking may have been weeks away from a shutdown, which kind of begs the question, right? Boy, probably should have had that thing buttoned up before the trade war, but neither here nor there. I don't know if we could have or not. I'm not sure. But the amount that China was willing to sell was well below expectations. In other words, China's like, hey, we're going to we'll let you get through the next month. But let's just see how things go. And then a report late last night that China has been buying large quantities of oil with renminbis, which, the Chinese yuan. It's interesting because that kind of says we're not talking about Russia, right? And obviously you can't do it. Now they probably are doing it with Iran, but they got to do it privately, right? They're not allowed. So, ghost ships and all that other nonsense. People speculating has, whether it's Saudi Arabia, UAE, some OPEC members, not Russian, started accepting renminbis for oil, and what will be the effect on the U.S. debt markets, and will China now start speeding up the pace of dumping U.S. treasuries? If this is the case, the answer to that will be yes. It will. I don't know that it is. But like I said, oil dominant. Nothing's close. Nothing. I don't care what it is. Gold, copper, wheat, corn, soybean, any commodity you could possibly think of. The most important commodity for the U.S. debt market is crude oil, period. And it's not close. So just keep that in mind. I think that's kind of taken a little of the shine off of the meetings that are taking place. Nothing has leaked. Really haven't heard other than they've arrived in the UK. Nothing has come out about the talks. I don't know. Is it going to be a 1 day? Is it going to be 2 days? We don't know. But rare earths continue to be an issue as China has agreed to allow a small amount of rare earths to U.S. automakers, but much less than was expected last week with the big phone call. So this is why, again, I keep telling you, get gold put away here. I don't know. Is it going to be oil? Maybe. Is it going to be an issue with Japan, an issue in Europe, an issue here? Is it going to be an escalation of war? Is it going to be, is it going to be something that's like a huge hurricane hitting production? I don't know. It could be anything. Could it be the passing of the big, beautiful bill? Which, by the way, it appears that the Senate is not going to play ball as far as they are going to, looks like, I think they can get a deal passed that will go back to the House, but it appears that will be unacceptable to the Republicans in the House. So I don't know. But there's going to be a huge problem in the global bond market. This is why we keep telling you, I think we're certain. It's certain. Digital money's on its way. I mean, I'm sorry, but having a problem, hey, I've got a debt problem, okay? What's your solution? Well, I'm going to go into a lot more debt. How does that help? Well, I'm hoping that I can grow faster. So then, as long as the amount of debt as a percentage of GDP goes down, it'll be okay. That's the logic. Hey, a $3 trillion deficit will be okay if the economy's, I don't know, 40 trillion? Something like that? I mean, is that how I would have to go? The chance of that happening are almost zero. They just are. And then all of a sudden, what happens? Then what happens? We got a $4 trillion deficit and a $40 trillion economy. Uh-oh. That math doesn't work at all. Patriot Radio News Hour. Back at 800-951-0592. Gold now up $25 as the rebound here continues. Silver and platinum in breakout mode. $20 gold pieces, 35 1/4. The best deal I got on silver is just getting expensive. I mean, just is what it is. It's going to be a lot more expensive. A lot more. 5-ounce silver bar is $200. I mean, I've got, rounds now are over $800. It's not crazy. Will we see $1,000 Silver Eagle rolls this year? Probably. Well, we'll see 900. That I know, but probably. Yeah, I know, right? Think about that. Crazy. First roll of silver I ever sold was $135. Not kidding. $135. 800-951-0592. So how bad is the problem? Am I making it up? Do we really have this debt problem? Is China really buying oil in renminbis now? Citadel founder Ken Griffin. It is unfathomable that a financial instrument to protect against an eventual U.S. default is being priced at levels close to some European countries. What's he talking about? He's talking about credit default. He's talking about insurance. Buying insurance for a potential U.S. default in its treasury market. I never thought in my life I would see U.S. priced higher in risk cost than countries like Spain, Germany, or France. You've got to be kidding me. He says that, yes, the market has liquidity issues, which has been impacting prices. But he still considered that conversation around how close the swaps that are trading is unimaginable. Saying that as an example, the market-based risk of sovereign default stood at 48 basis points for the United States, compared to 50 basis points for Italy, 32 for Spain, and 35 for France. What? France just said, we're going to be out of money next year. The moves in U.S. credit default comes amid concern about the country's fiscal deficit and just how much more the big, beautiful bill is going to add. He went on to say, you cannot run 6 or 7% deficits at full employment after years of growth. That is just irresponsible. And this is the problem, guys. Seriously. This is the best the economy can be. 4% unemployment. That's like the best it can be. These deficits should be nowhere near these levels. And now, look at it, and they're talking 6 and 7%. That's where we're at now. What's it going to look like at 8%? 9%? I don't want to think about 10. I don't. And that is for insurance to protect against a sovereign default of the United States. I mean, this is something, again, guys, I'm just telling you. They're all saying the same thing, aren't they? Now, the Citadel, on a lot of these investments, a lot of these companies are forced to buy this, right? Kind of a rule, right? Which is, hey, we've got to keep the risk extremely low. Well, how do you do that? Well, you buy insurance. And he's saying, oh my gosh, They're pricing insurance in the United States like we're Europe. How can that be? Yeah, well, and then he answered his own question. He really did. He just answered it. Said, well, gosh, look at, we're at 7% debt to GDP, and we've got an unemployment rate of 4%. And we've just had, how many years of growth? I don't even know, 10, 12. The spending should have stopped a long time ago. Instead, it's only gotten worse. And now the solution is more spending. I know you want it to be right. You want to believe it. But this is why we keep telling you to get bigger into gold and silver. And oh, by the way, digital money is coming. That's why we've been talking about KXXT now for the last 6 weeks. If you haven't thrown your hat in the ring and just if nothing else, say, you know what, let me take a shot here. What do you need? What do you got to lose? 800-951-0592. Patriot Radio News Hour, final segment coming up. 800-951-0592. Patriot Radio News Hour wrapping up this Monday. Gold kind of rallying now with silver and platinum breaking out. Concerns about the trade talks with China, that maybe it wasn't as good as they were hoping for. And has China been able to, I guess, pull a big coup here? Are they buying oil from somebody other than Russia in renminbis? And the answer appears to be yes. And that only leaves the Middle East. I mean, at least it's where they get it from. So worries about the U.S. debt markets, the Citadel, talking about insurance against default. And I've been telling you, I've maybe I was slow. Sure I was. Digital money's coming. We missed Bitcoin. I think KXXT has an opportunity to be what we wanted Bitcoin to be. You know, I loved Bitcoin. And I even said, I don't know, probably a million times on the air. I love the idea of Bitcoin. And they ruined it. They ruined it, right? They want to act like they didn't ruin it. They ruined it. You know it and I know it. All the banks are in. Right now they're talking about stable coins and buying treasuries, and most people out there don't even know what that means. This is something better. That's just my opinion. A mining share is $995. The most you can buy is $9. You can't buy any more. You just can't. If you bought 9 shares, that's $8,955. They'll give you 2 shares for free for that, so you get 11. Buy 5, you get 1. What does that mean? That just means you get more coins every day. Every single day, day after day, 365 days a year, you get coins in your account. When I first started talking about KXXT, it was 46 cents. Then it went to 55. Then it went to 60. Then it went to 80. Then it went to $1. I think we're going to see $2 KXXT. I'm going to give myself some room here in 60 days. I think it's going to be less. Bobby Gray, the guy that started this, by the way, they're based out of McKinney, Texas. It's the only coin that we know of that is only mined in the United States, and in particular, only mined in Texas. The speed of its blockchain makes Bitcoin look embarrassing. That's how fast it is. we'll see. There's the risk in this. Yep. I'll feel a lot better, I think, very soon. When we see volume over 100,000 a day, right now they're in the 65, 75,000 a day. Will be even bigger. Wait till it gets to Coinbase and Kraken. Take a shot here. What do you got to lose? You can trade gold and silver for it if you want. Call us. Get signed up. Get on the rocket ship, as we like to say. 800-951-0592.